Hi, so I'm Lucy Rennie and I'll be speaking. I'm dead excited because I'm going to be speaking on the Thursday at Joe's Northwest VA conference. But I'm more excited because this year Joe's actually going to deliver a workshop yourself, aren't you, Joe?
I am.
On the Friday morning. And I've got the privilege of doing a mini interview with you to find out more about you, what you do, how you help, and what your session is going to be about. So my first question is, why do you do this conference? What is it? Because you've been doing it, this is the 9th year. Do you want to just quickly give people an idea of why?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Lucy. So back when I first started the business, I went to a conference in the Midlands somewhere that was run by a lady called Carmen, who ran VACT, so a training company. And it was a day and a half, and I was literally about maybe 3 months into business or something like that. And I was super nervous. And I had all the feelings of, why would I be going to a conference with other VAs for a start? What if, I say something to someone about my business and they steal my ideas? And I was really, really green and really naive. And to be honest, a couple of months before that, I'd never even heard of being a VA. So I went along to like a bit of a half a day class, but really thought it was a great idea. But I loved the format of the day and a half. I thought it was brilliant. And there was a dinner in the evening and it was dead interactive. And I met loads of wonderful people, some who were coming to the conference this year. And then the following year, I applied for my first award, which was a Northern VA of the Year, I think. And I had to go to Newcastle to Angela's conference and won, and was totally blown away and thought, flipping heck, I don't even know how that happened, but it was wonderful. But I had a really, really good time, and I thought, God, this is brilliant. And we've got nothing in the Northwest for this. And I thought, okay, it can't be that hard, can it? It's got to be dead easy to run a conference for a couple of people. Yeah, it'd be dead easy. And I'll just do one, and we won't do any more. So we started to plan it for the following year and absolutely fell in love with it and had brilliant feedback from VAs. Some VAs came that had been at the conference when I'd first started that I'd met, which was lovely because we'd kept in touch. And then loads of Northwest VAs just kind of came out of everywhere. And I had networked loads within Warrington within the first couple of years of business, so had known a lot of other businesses. So just spoke to people and said, I'd love you to come and speak at the conference. I think they'd really get something out of your expertise and your knowledge that you can share with them. And that was it. And it just kind of spiraled. And each year, Naomi and I and Pam will have a conversation and say, we're not doing it next year. We'll leave it this year. And then within a couple of weeks, we're like, oh, do you think we should let's just do it one more time. Let's just do it one more time. And I think the strangest one was in 2017 when we held it in Manchester, because some feedback had been, can it be more near a motorway access? And so we thought, oh, we'll do it in Manchester. It was not long after the Manchester bomb. So we made a big deal about being in Manchester and gave everybody a B pin badge. And it was lovely to be in Manchester, but it wasn't at a venue where everything was hosted and everything was held for you. And it was really hard work. And we said, we'll never, ever do that again. Go back to where we came from and let's just do that again. But being in that safe environment with people, of being able to share your achievements and things that you've done and that have gone well, but also things that you're not sure about, any questions you've got. I've always found everybody to be super collaborative and to just want to help everybody and answer questions and be supportive and have a really good social tight network of other people that understand what it is like to run a VA business, because it isn't like any other business. And we deal with so many different types of businesses, different business people of different sizes, large corporates to one-man bands. And I've not come across an industry where everybody gets together like that, who does the same kind of thing and is really collaborative. I just think it's really unique. So long may it continue. And next year, 10 years, we're going to plan on doing something really big. So really looking forward to that. But yeah, 9 years this year. So yeah, long may it continue.
Yeah, no, it's ace. It's so exciting. And we've had like so much so many things happening, haven't we, over the last few years? Because I know that you've even carried on having the conference in COVID and pandemic. You moved it online.
Yeah.
And now, you know, we're in a different context, aren't we, where there's maybe there's a recession going on. There's lots of sort of cost of living crisis happening.
Yeah.
So your theme this year is all about future proofing. Do you want to explain a little bit more the kind of the reasoning behind that and where that came from?
Yeah, sure. On the other interviews that I've done with the other speakers, I've given a little bit of a brief about why that was important for me. But I think with all of that stuff that you've just said that's happened, obviously we've been through, and I know that there are VAs out there that had their business in the last recession back in 2008. And I've experienced all of that. And then since then, we've had Brexit, we've had COVID, we've had cost of living crisis, we've had potential recession. And I think it's even more important now that for those that are either starting up as a VA business or are existing, that we really look at how to secure the business, that we've been really resilient. And I know a lot of VAs that have been super resilient over the COVID period and have adapted and had to change the way that they do things, even change their whole business format because they were maybe predominantly PA based, which, you know, booking hotels and transport and things like that, which they clearly couldn't do in COVID. But we are a really resilient bunch. And I think whatever we can do to make sure we put those foundations in place and we future-proof our business, short-term, long-term, whatever we want that to look like, we can do it by ourselves, but we're all invested in supporting our clients, and it's normally the first thing that we think of, and we don't think about what our business needs. And I fell foul of that last year with not having a pipeline and having to kind of get back out there after the COVID period of not doing networking as much, get myself back out there to build up from losing projects that had finished naturally and handing over clients to associates because they've worked with them for a long time. And I'm passionate about the client getting the best service and the best support. So if that is not with one of my associates through me, but it's actually with the associate direct, then I'm more than willing to, you know, hand them over and say, you need to work with them directly now, because that's the best support for the client that they can get. It's my whole mantra is getting the right job done by the right person, and I'm really passionate about that. But that all happened, and it took me quite a long time to build that pipeline back up again. And I'm still having to work on that, obviously, because now I am trying to future-proof and make sure that that doesn't happen again. So this year, I really wanted to focus on that. And obviously, kind of finding you and your podcast and everything that you do, which is all around future-proofing. And then I've also seen recently something that Amanda Johnson from VACT has shared with someone else that's like a leadership coach, and a lot within her text of this sessions that she's running is about future-proofing. So it's jumping out at me, and I'm seeing it all the time because it's clearly something that people are thinking about. And I know that of all the other session speakers that we've got, there's lots of elements that are really going to help people to get some really good foundations and future-proof. It's really hard to say though, isn't it? Future-proof. It's really hard to really future-proof their business for what they want it to look like. Yeah, I think it's really important.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you know, I'm a massive believer in this, and I think that's where your session, and I love that you're going to be running a session this year, because I think you've only delivered one, haven't you, in the 9 years? Yeah. So it's ace that you are going to come in and do that. But I think you're going to be carrying on. So it's day 2 in the morning, isn't it? Really interactive, and it's about future-proofing your client relationships, which is what really you've just been talking about, isn't it? So do you want to explain what you're going to take people through?
Yeah, sure. I think that VAs will understand that there's always a lot of emphasis on niche. And I don't think until I'd been in business for maybe 6 or 7 years that I really identified what my niche was. And I realized that it wasn't a task. It wasn't a skill that I had. It was actually the people that I wanted to work with. And I knew that it was strong women who were not afraid to put themselves forward and say, go out and get what they really wanted. They like going for lunch. They like drinking gin. And I know that kind of, if I had to draw my avatar, she'd have a gin glass in one hand and probably a credit card in the other hand or something like that. But it took me a long time to really identify what that was. And still then it took me longer to kind of, and I know you talk about kind of non-negotiables, but really say what I didn't want to do and say no to people, because I think that's really, when you're in a support service, it's really hard to say no to people. And I do struggle with it a lot. But I think what we need to do is we really need to identify, yes, what we want to do and who we want to work with. But if we go back a step and we say, actually, I don't want to do this, and really identify what you don't want to do. You don't want to do specific tasks, and you don't really want to work at certain times, and you don't want to work with certain people. When you're really clear about what you don't want to do, it's a lot easier to say what you do want to do and who you want to work with. And we do that when I run my Get It Done sessions with people, and they say, I'm just struggling to kind of move the business on a little bit further. And we say, right, well, let's kind of throw the business on the table and put it back together in a jigsaw that we want it to really look like. And before we do that, tell me what you don't like, really. It's not all about what you do like, because you can go into loads of examples of, well, I like this and I like that. Well, do you like doing this bit of that and that bit of that? No, I don't. Okay, well, let's strip it back and let's say what you don't like. And then let's look at, right, well, what would that business look like then if you were not doing anything that you didn't want to look like, you didn't want to do? And sometimes it might sound a little bit weird and negative to be looking at that, but I think it's good to get that understanding, because I'm at a point now where I know that I'm not going to negotiate on price, and I'm not going to negotiate on working in the evenings. And I've just moved over to having 2 phones. So on a Friday night, I turn my work phone off, and my personal phone has not got emails. It's not got WhatsApp groups. It's not got anything like that. It's literally just for family and friends. And I thought I'd really struggle with it, but after 3 weekends, I really like it. But then I can't wait to get up on a Monday morning and turn my phone back on. So I'm like, right, what have I missed? What have I missed? But I just really do not turn it on. And I know that is one of the things that I've always thought, I can't do that. I can't do it. Well, I can, because I don't like to look at my emails at the weekend, but I feel that I have to because it's on. So if we really do that and look back, then yeah, we can do that. And I have a nice little exercise for them to look at and take away, which is a manual for me, which I did with one of my clients that I really loved, because it's not like your standard terms and conditions that's written out and you just adapt slightly. It's totally you. And it's everything that I say, I don't like to be contacted at this time, and I like feedback in this way. And this is me personally, and these are my personal interests. So people really understand me. So the people that I end up working with, they get to know me as well, and what my non-negotiables are, I suppose. Yeah, so that's what we'll be looking at on the Friday morning, which I'm hoping will really run nicely after Paula's session and your session on the Thursday. It'll really kind of bring them back on the Friday morning first thing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to speaking, and I'm a little bit nervous. Really. Yeah, but I love it. Anyone that's been before, I do love getting up and speaking, and I'm very handy. I'm very, very handy. So I'm looking forward to getting up and being quite visual. Yeah.
No, I can't wait, because I can't wait I love when you're speaking, so I can't wait to come and be part of it, and yeah, and see how you get on with it. So yeah, it's going to be really good. Is there anything else? I'm not sure. Do they need to bring anything, or do they need to know anything else before they come to your session? Or
just loads of nice stationery. Buy yourself some new nice stationery, because that's always nice. Oh, nice. And we always give nice, and we'll all have a lovely goodie bag, so there'll be lots of nice bits and pieces in there as well. But no, just come with an open mind, stationery, come to have fun. When anybody books, they get a little document that's like 10 things to get ready for the conference, and the final one of them is get giddy, because it's a fantastic event, and there'll be lots of laughs and lots of conversation, lots of collaboration, and lots of laughs. And yeah, just a really nice event, and I appreciate people coming. I know it's a day and a half out of the business, which is really difficult. And there's loads of opportunity, obviously, in the evening, get your laptop out and, you know, when you've gone to bed, catch up on stuff and get up early in the morning and do it if you want. But, you know, bring your phones, take loads of photos, share everything online, but just come and have fun and have an open mind, really.
No, and it's so good to take time out of your business, isn't it? You know, and actually your business. So having that space is really important. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. I can't wait. I'm really excited. Yeah. And it's not long to go. No. Oh, cool. Oh, thanks so much, Lucy. I really appreciate that.
Can't wait.
Thank you. No, me too.
I'm all excited now. It's
I know. All I'd ask is people keep sharing stuff. Just keep sharing stuff. Let's get as many people there as possible and just really collaborate and have a good time with each other and get some really, really good tools and foundations to future-proof your business and keep it going as strong as possible. Super. Wonderful. Thank you very much. And we'll see you all at the event in June. Thanks, Lucy. See you soon.